You are listening to UPRN, United Public Radio Network, coming to you live on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. UPRNTalkRadio.com. Wow, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this beautiful Monday night here. Well, it is a beautiful Monday night here in Cornwall. As I look out through the studio windows at the sky, I can see such a beautiful view. Clear blue skies. Beautiful. Trudy says, stood in a field feeding the horses. I can't think of anything better. I bet it's beautiful. Greetings from San Francisco, Lisa Holland Bowles. Welcome, Lisa Holland Bowles, to the show. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. If you guys are watching me on Facebook, why not go across to YouTube? Come out of Facebook, go to YouTube, and go into the search bar, type in Paul Francis Medium, come straight back to the show, and subscribe to the show. And then hit that like button. Please make sure you hit that like button. Colleen Greenfield has joined us. Colleen, good evening. Lovely to see you. Julie Sharp has joined us. Evening, Paul. Lovely music. Reminds me of church. So peaceful. Thank you very much, Jules. It's very kind of you to say. I'd love to say hi to whoever this is, but this is what happens when you come in Facebook. Unfortunately, I'm not able to see who you are. I'd love to say hi to you. So come out of Facebook, go into YouTube. Search bar, type in Paul Francis Medium or Paul Francis 111. And it'll bring you back to my show right here. And then don't forget, make sure that you subscribe to the show, then click the little bell icon. But most importantly, if you're watching me tonight already on YouTube, make sure you click that like button. Richard Dearden has joined us. Richard, good evening. Rachel Salinas, good evening, Rachel. And Lynn has joined us. Good evening, Lynn. Welcome, one and all, to our show here tonight. Bit of luck, maybe a bit later on tonight, I'm going to have Roger come in and help me out tonight. Roger and Faye. Lisa says, hi, switched over from Facebook to YouTube. Thank you, Lisa. Make sure that you click the subscribe button and slam that like button. Now, all y'all, no matter where you're watching me, please share the show. Get it out there. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. But more importantly, more equally as importantly, share it with your groups and get people to come in. Now, I told everybody about a competition last Thursday. I had somebody moaning at me that nobody had won the competition, and that's because nobody has hit the peripherals of the show yet. So the idea is that you go out there and you get 10, 20, 30 people to come and join and subscribe to the show. If they subscribe to the show under your recommendation, get them to put your name down. And if they say, like, for example, Sue here, and I've joined because of Lynn, then Lynn gets a mark. So when we get all of the people in who've done the most introductions to the show, they start getting merchandise and introductions to me and coming out with me, and even one-to-one sessions solely on the Paul Francis Network's charge. Sue Vinica, my darling Sue. Hello, sweetheart. I hope you're well. I hadn't heard from you for a few days. Hope you're good. There's my darling Faye. Lovely to see you. Thanks very much. Lisa Cantu, Michigan, is in the house listening at work. Lisa from Michigan, don't get caught. And I hope you're having a great day. As some of you should know, I should really say it from the get-go. As some of you know, unfortunately, I had a family member pass away yesterday. And I'm actually named after him, after my uncle. His name is Francis, hence the name, Paul Francis. And I would like to say a huge thank you to all of you who took the time out to send us some condolence messages. My brother and I are very, very grateful. And it's wonderful to know that you guys have taken the time out to do that. I really, really appreciate it. And I was sitting there, obviously reflecting over his passing, as I was highly reflective of the fact that I look like him, and I was like, "Oh my god, we look like each other." But more importantly, over the great times, and this is what you should do. You should, when somebody passes over, it's it's all too easy to go straight into mourning, and I kind of understand that, I guess. But it's I think it's equally, or if not more important, to think of the person, of what their legacy is, what did they leave behind, and the energy that they sort of instilled on you through your, well, for me, it was through my childhood, obviously. And my uncle Francis, or Francie, as he's known to the family, my uncle Francie has had a very dry sense of humor. I mean, we're talking very dry sense of humor, and he knew his motorcycles inside and out. And I think, excuse me, I beg your pardon. I think that his blood has trickled down through even into his grandniece, which is my Maya, who's now a speed freak. She loves her cars and her motorcycles, so it's it's nuts. Phil Greenfield has joined us. Ronnie has joined us. Did I see Emma? Yeah, Emma Lorimer has joined us. Lovely to see you guys. Thanks for being here. Sue says missed Thursday night, had no internet. Oh my darling, sorry about that. It's still on the website. It'll be on the website up until just after this show, and then this show will be on the website. So www.paulfrancis111.com, and you'll be able to see last week's show. Roger's joined us, my darling pal Roger. Good to see you in the room. Julie Sharp, deepest condolences to all your beautiful family. Julie, thank you very, very much. I appreciate that very, very much. And Emma, very sorry to hear the sad news. Thinking of you and your family. I appreciate that. And Shani, exactly the same. Hi, Paul Francis. So sorry. My thanks to you all. Appreciate it so very, very much. It's yeah, it's a wake up call, really. It's a really big wake up call. And I want to say to you guys, it really is. It's a wake up call. Don't wait until someone's passed before you get on with living. Do it now. Get on with living right now. Enjoy life to the absolute max, and get everything you can out of this life. And in doing that, share what you learn. Make it an abundantly clear that you're happy, that you're ecstatically happy, because then you'll attract that energy to you and that kind of person to you. You'll attract those kind of people to you, and your life will just get inevitably better. Okay. Now, while you're enjoying life, I'm trying to get my teeth to work. While you're enjoying life to the max, you're then honoring those who have crossed, because you're being the best you can be here and now. So do that. Make this life something. So on the final day, when you cross to the other side of life and you look back at this life, you're going to say, "Do you know what? I did all right. I did my best. I did okay." And one of the things that I learned many years ago is sit now, right now. No, well, obviously not during my show, but later, and just think to yourself, well, just imagine you're standing in the background at your own funeral, and when people get up to pay homage to you, homily, or to talk about you, what you might want them to say about you. So, what do you want people to talk about you at your funeral? So, what do you want them to say? Do you know? And what you want to hear coming out of people's lives should really sort of enlighten you as to how you should live now. Me, I kind of want them to say he was a brilliant dad. He really, really lived for his children. He lived for the people in his life, his wife, his family. He did his best for those on the planet, especially those less fortunate. And he did what he could to help humanity move forward in a positive way. And if people can say those things about me at my funeral, I'll be a happy guy. Yeah, I'll be a happy guy. Richard says that sorry for your loss. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate that. Good evening, Debbie, my darling. Lovely to see you. Thanks very much for being here. Anne Marie says hi to everybody. Anne Marie, welcome. Good to see you in the show. Now, I'm not going to let the crossing of my family member bring our show down, because I know my Uncle Francie, and he would swiftly lift his right foot and connect it with my rear. And in which case you'd be like, no, 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 no. You do not remember me in a sad and negative way. You remember me in your absolute happiest, because my Uncle Francie has gone to join his son and his wife. So I know he'll be very, very happy. So I will endeavor to make him happy and make him proud of me. So, as you know, Monday night is all about reads, and I have my cards here at the ready. There they go. All ready to go. I will be shuffling them prior using them, of course. I also want to say a huge apology and a huge thank you to all of those people I had to let down with reads over the last couple of days, obvious reasons. And I'm thankful and grateful to you for allowing me the time to spend with my family, which I have done. Spent most of the day on the phone with my brother, actually, as it happens, which is good, because all we did was have a giggle and talk about old times, that's what it's all about. Memories, fantastic memories, and giggling, and had Johanna in tears laughing about what we used to get up to, Paddy and I. Good fun. All done in the favor of our Uncle Francie, who's crossed over and is no longer in pain. He was suffering with Alzheimer's as well, which is not a happy thing to watch, especially, his family members, of which we're sending loads of love to on a constant right now. So let's move forward, though. As I say, let's pick it up. Let's pick the energy and the pace up. And I would like you to, obviously, as we do, talk about what questions you have for me, obviously relating to the subject matter, and what you like to get from a reading. What is it that you want when you come to a reading? If you come and book one of my sessions, and what is it that you want out of a reading? I'm just going to move the camera across a little bit. There we go. I actually ask my clients when we sit down together to do a reading, I always say, so what is it you want to achieve out of this reading? And people will give me various sort of options. They'll talk about, well, I'd like a little bit of guidance, or I'd like a little bit of understanding, or I'd like to talk about this, and I'd like to talk about that. So what would you, if you were coming to me for a reading, okay, what is it that you would want? That's a really good question. So I want to hear back from you guys. Mary Erickson has just joined the show. Mary, welcome to the show. As always, it's good to see you. If you're listening to me tonight, obviously you're listening to me on the UPRN Talk Radio Network, which is reaching you throughout the world through the magic of the internet. But of course, going out to 105.3 to 107.7 FM through the FM network of the beautiful city of New Orleans. So if you're listening to me tonight in New Orleans, or today in New Orleans, I'm wishing you a fantastic day. But remember, if you can get the opportunity to get on your cell phone and come and join us on YouTube, please do. We'd love to see you. Shani has put up a message and said, my son's girlfriend of nearly 4 years dumped him. He's in pieces. Do you think my two sons will find contentment in life? Shani, they will find contentment in life, but part of that is actually down to you, my angel, okay? Part of that is down to leadership, and that's what a mom does. And I can tell just by looking at your little picture that you're a fantastic mom. Being dumped by a girl, and I'm saying this with kind of memories flooding, okay? Being dumped by a girl is a standard of life, okay? But here's the way I look at it, Shani. If a girl dumped your son, then she was not meant to be with your son. All right, they weren't meant to be together. So it just means he's now being freed up to receive the person that he's supposed to be with. Okay. Each person comes into our lives. They come into our lives for reasons. They come into our lives usually to teach us. Okay. So the best thing to ask your sons is, what did you learn from the experience of being with the person? What did you learn from it? Okay. What parts of it were great? And what did you learn from the parts that weren't so great? Because even in the darkest moments, there are things to be learned. Okay. Now, that's a great question, Shani, and I do hope the answer is helping you a little bit. But I want to say to you as well, my darling, that there's an energy around you that wants to support you, not so much the sons. Not that he's not supporting your sons, but this gentleman is like a father grandfather figure. He wants me to acknowledge as being an older male to you. I would say very strong in his energy and persona. So he would have, if he wasn't in the military, he would have had a military kind of a feel about him. So he kind of knew, everything in its place. Everything has a place. Everything in its place. Kind of a person. Would have been very, very supportive of his family. Maybe not necessarily in his younger years, but as the years went through, he would have been very supportive. But I was to say, the energy that I'm getting seems to be wanting to support you more than focusing on your two sons. I kind of get the feeling that or the feeling that they're making me feel is that they're okay. They're strong enough to be able to look after themselves. You're my focus. You're my desire, my focus, my energy, and I want to build that up around you because there's a kind of a kind of a wavered feel with yourself that they're making me feel. So, um, maybe a wee bit of lost your way a little bit, okay, or not too sure about the direction you should be going in, is the kind of feeling that I'm getting. um you're not here to live your life for other people, Shani. You're here to live your life for yourself. Okay. Now, you brought these boys into the world, you brought them up properly, they're strong and true, and they will make decisions. They won't always make good decisions. Hello, welcome to the world. But no matter whether they make fantastic decisions or not so fantastic decisions, there is lessons to be learned in both. You don't know what it feels like to hurt your knee until you fall over and hurt your knee. So that's something to be learned from. But Shani, as a little bit of self-focus in here needed to be in place, and also a little bit of self-love. Okay, a little bit of love coming inward. Love yourself. And I've always said, and I've told people in the past, if you can't love yourself, how do you expect others to love you? Alrighty. Shani, we're coming up on a birthday and anniversary in around the July, August sort of time, because they're showing me the months of July and they're showing me the months of August. They haven't given me a 7. They just give to me 7. So either the 7th of July, 7th of August, I'm not too sure, or the 7th month. Well, the 7th month would be July, wouldn't it? Or the 7th of August is significant, okay? But the 7 is significant here. They're bringing in. And then there's an E name like Elizabeth, Elaine, Eddie, Edward. There's a strong E name to be acknowledged. And they want me to talk about two energies in spirit that now stand side by side. So this would be two brothers, two sisters, or a brother and sister. They want me to be acknowledged. Husband and wife, even, sorry, for that matter as well. But it's really about you that this message is coming through for, Shani. Because I'm getting the green energy around you, which means love. Okay. So the chakra is the heart chakra, and that's the center of love. And they really want to focus a little bit of it on you. So love yourself, give yourself a break. Stop kind of it's nice to put yourself out for other people. Like, I understand that. However, you got to start with number one. Charity begins at home with self. All right. So give yourself a break, give yourself some time out, treat yourself for a start. And the strong E name is significant, but equally the July is a birthday anniversary, and or August, or the 7th of August is significant. Okay. So let's see what this card, the number 7th card, comes up for. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. The 7th card for Shani. Let's see what we got going on here. Giving and receiving. I just said to you, balance. Look at that. So Shani, giving and receiving. So, excuse me. The entire universe operates in cycles similar to inhalations and exhalations. When you only exhale, which is give, or you only inhale, which is receive, you become out of rhythm with the universe. For optimum health, energy, and replenishment, balance each inhalation in your life with an exhalation. Okay, my love? Now, hopefully that helps you out. So, as I was asking the question there, it was a little bit about what would you expect from a reading. And so let's have a wee look at what I was getting back there. Connor Gill. Hi, Connor. Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Debbie Nazari. I'd like to know that my parents are happy and reunited. Debbie, I can guarantee you, as soon as one leaves and the other joins, they are reunited. They meet up with each other pretty much straight away. Even those who have been divorced, or even those, say for an example, one parent stays here and remarries, they still link up on the other side, because the politics of this life does not translate up there. Okay, and once you're family, and that's the way it works. Alrighty. Now, those are good questions. Keep those questions coming, by the way. I appreciate these questions very, very much. But Debbie, I can absolutely guarantee they are happy. You should be aware of that. Lynn says, you are all that and more. People will say a lot more than that. Oh, bless your heart. Appreciate that. Thank you, Lynn. Julie Sharp says, would be validation for me, Paul. My partner passed many years ago now, and I'm still fuming at him for leaving me to pick up the pieces with our children. Julie, completely understandable. Totally and utterly understandable. And I can understand even the energy of being annoyed about somebody who crosses over that's very, very close to you. I remember when my mom passed, I was angry at everybody and everything, and her. I remember standing in our house in Edenderry, standing at the garden, looking up at the stars, and going, "You should have been here. You should be here. You shouldn't be gone yet. It's too early." And it was too early because you passed at 59. But all of the now, this is going to sound a little bit harsh, Julie, and I don't mean it to be harsh in a way that I'm having a poke at you. Please don't think that at all. But hopefully, maybe it might begin to mend you when I share what I'm about to share. So as I stood there and I looked at the stars, and I said to her, "You shouldn't have gone. You shouldn't have gone." And I was becoming more angry at her for going, and leaving me here. And I realized, and I can tell you this now, it wasn't that same night. It was, days and weeks later, months later even, that I realized that it was my selfishness that I was angry at. Me, not her. My selfishness wanted her to stay here. My selfishness wanted her to be right here where she's supposed to be. She's supposed to be here and look after me. That was my selfishness and my selfish thinking. What I realized later on, after some, and I will say some years, that it was, she not only had done her job and done it really, really well, I might add, but it was now her turn to have a break, her turn to be pain-free, her turn to have absolute bliss and love and honor and wisdom and warmth, and to be surrounded by all of the people that she had mourned and lost and was angry at. So I realized that my anger was actually at me, not her. And I'm pretty confident she didn't want to go, because she turned up in a visitation a few years later. Her message, she turned up in front of me with her arm missing, her right arm missing. And at the time, I didn't get what that meant. And it was later when I was talking to our other brother, Peter, and he said, "Oh, yeah, that was Mom's favorite saying, wasn't it? And I was like, what are you talking about? And mom's favorite saying was, I'd give my right arm for that. And what she was saying was, I really would give my right arm to be with you. However, I'm here and I'm happy and I'm totally surrounded by love. And I would not take that away from her or my father now. I wouldn't pull them back to this stupid world we live in where it's governed by greed. Um, no, they did a good job. They brought us up well, and we're Patty and I are very, very happy. My brother Patty, we chat all the time, and so when you're actually angry at him, Julie, maybe it's a little bit of angry at yourself that you're the realization of that might come through for you, my sweetheart. So how we think at it from that angle and see what happens. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a card for you to see what happens, see how the angels respond to this particular point of view. Um, you're a wonderful person. You're a phenomenal mother. You're an energy to have around. I would love to have your energy around me all the time. And you're a good person. You deserve all great things. Just remember that, okay? And love does not love will seek you out. It will, but just give it a chance, okay? Wow, wow. Are you ready for this, Julie? Cleanse and detoxify. Look at that. And just as I brought that card out, somebody knocked the table. Literally give it a like that, just as I was bringing this card out. So cleanse and detoxify. With great love and respect, we ask you to detoxify your precious and sensitive body. At your request, we will help you develop a life-affirming ways to I'll start that again. At your request, we'll help you develop life-affirming ways to deal with stress, as well as ease any sorrow at shedding your old ways. Give us your cares, your worries, and your concerns, and feel the beautiful grace of your newly purified body. How amazing a card is that? Wow. That's actually blown me away. Julie, I do hope that helps you, my angel. And you have a fantastic day. And thank you always for your support. Mary Erickson says, I wish for connection from my loved ones and reassurance that I'm on the right path and advice on what should I change. Right. Well, let me just say this to you, Mary. First and foremost, your loved ones are trying to connect to you on a daily basis. I mean, you've been following me for some time now, and I've been showing you that. So, connection from your loved ones. Oh, I get a really itchy nose, so they're definitely all around me tonight. Connection from your loved ones that's absolute. Okay, reassurances that I'm on the right path. Now, whose reassurance would you need for that? Now, this is a big, big question from me to you, Mary. Whose reassurance do you need that you are on the right path? Okay, now I'm going to follow it up with a second question. Who is qualified to tell you that you're on the right path or not? There's a question for you, Mary. Who's qualified to tell you whether or not you're on the right path? Only one person. Only one. You. Okay. Are you on the right path? Are you doing what you want to do? Are you fulfilling the life that you set out to fulfill? If not, then you're not on the right path. Okay, that makes sense. Choose directions that take you towards your light, not away from it. When you get up every day and you go to do a job that you love, then you will never work a day in your life. If you're not doing those two things, then you need to start seeking the direction that takes you towards those things. Life fulfillment for you is primary. Okay. And when you're fulfilling your life and you're building that kind of energy, that then filters down to everybody else in your family. That energy filters out, and it helps them as well. It also helps them not only with the energy input, but it helps them to say, well, Mary's doing it, so why shouldn't I? And they'll get up and start fulfilling their lives. And you will always succeed when you do something you love, because you don't have to work at it. Right? You are on the right path. And what you should change is always going to be down to you. That's why we were born with and given free will. Okay? So when you go to bed tonight and you wake up and tomorrow morning, if your day is planned out how it's going to bring you an abundance of love and happiness, then you're on the right path. If it's not going to bring you a load of abundance and happiness, then you need to start considering. Okay? But don't be silly about it either. If you've got a fantastic job in a bank and you don't really necessarily love working in a bank, you don't quit the job and then go, okay, what am I going to do? Sit on top of a hill and meditate? No. Be realistic about it. But start evolving your life towards what you want out of life. So let's see what the cards got. Wow. Look at that. Perfect timing, Mary. Now is the perfect moment for you to act upon your inspirations. You ask and you will receive. The doors are open while you walk through them with us by your side. Don't delay or procrastinate, as all the ingredients are ripe for your success. Everything and everyone is on your side, supporting your positive outcome. Kaboom. You ask and you shall receive. Faye says, Paul, are we limited to what we experienced in the afterlife by our individuals' beliefs here on earth? What a phenomenal question, young lady. That's a rather intelligent, phenomenal question. Are we limited to what we experience in the afterlife by our individual beliefs here on earth? Well, the answer is no, we're not, because our belief system here on earth is primarily dictated to us by man. Alrighty. Now, how I'm going to answer that is, you live in a phenomenal you live in a stunningly beautiful part of the world. Okay. You are surrounded by multi nations, but primarily you're surrounded by Native American people. So we have the Christian concept, which I know, Faye, that you follow the Christian concept. So would you say Christians are far more wiser than, say, Native Americans? Native Americans haven't changed their belief system on their system with Mother Earth and the stars and the universe from time began. So if their system hasn't changed, why would they need to change it? Okay. So when they cross into the other side of life, it's not as if, now you see, their system is quite unique in the fact that their system is based on their ancestors. So is the Zen Buddhist system is based on the ancestors. Well, actually, quite a few. It's only there's only a few, like the Christian belief system doesn't really doesn't base itself on fundamentally on ancestors. Okay, we believe that our ancestors, i.e., moms, dad, brothers, sisters, husband, wives, cousin, friends, all go to heaven. Okay, but we believe our basis is based on the teachings of Jesus and the apostles, and then obviously coming on filtering on down from there. But our belief system is only 2,000 years old. So you'd have to then take that all into play and say, what fundamentally connects all of these belief systems? So this is something that I did, because what I did was, obviously I was brought up Christian under the Catholic or Catholicism. But when I was starting to train, and when I was starting to develop as a human being, as a person, I was being introduced to all of these other systems, i.e., Native American, Zen Buddhist, a lot of the other Buddhist ways. Then I started looking into the Aboriginal ways, and I realized that there are some fundamental basics that actually connect them all together. Now you might think, "Oh my God, that this is the longest winded way of answering this question," but I'm trying to get everybody. When I'm answering Faye's question, I'm talking to everybody, of course. So what I'm trying to do is expand your mind, then bring it back to a point. And that point is this: every system, no matter which one, comes back to spirit, comes back to the soul, the spirit, and the progression of the soul and the spirit. Now, we have so many previous lives, and I totally and utterly believe in that. And have a wee bit of do a bit of research, everybody, into the Akashic records, and that'll teach you a wee bit as well. And so, all of our beliefs and all of our lessons learned previous to this life, as we cross back over, we carry the lessons we've learned on this particular journey, this life now, and we add them to all of the knowledge that we had before. So we're not limited, and the only limitations we set are the limitations we set upon ourselves. Okay, knowledge is not withheld from us, but presented to us as we need it. Yes, that was very long-winded way. I was like asking a geography teacher a question. You ever ask a geography teacher a question? My geography teacher at school, she was nuts. Loved her a bit. In fact, I excelled at geography because she was nuts. But they never could answer a question just like yes, no, or indifferent. It has to go 5 or 6 miles out of their way. So, Faye, wow. Oh my gosh, these cards are responding to each one of you tonight. Faye, this is your card, my darling. Okay. So if you think we are limited to, or are we limited to what we experience in the afterlife by our individual beliefs here on earth? There you go. Look into your heart and you will know the truth of this situation. It is safe to admit the truth to yourself, for we will support you and guide you through any necessary changes. Lean upon us for courage and the strength to take good care of yourself. Focus only upon the true desires, your true desires, and they will come to you upon angels' wings. Wow. Kaboom. Shawnee says, "Oh, Francis." She calls me Francis. It's actually Paul. Just call me Paul, Shawnee. Paul. I'll just take it as all Paul. You saw my late father, and you are on the mark. Yes, my father's birthday is on the 7th month. You're so good. Thank you so very much, Shawnee. You're welcome, my darling. You're very, very, very welcome. Gina says, with so many, I'm going to say, recent bad things, can I get a card from my event this weekend? Yes, you can, my darling, and it's good to see you, Gina. It's good to see you, my sweetheart. You'll always be welcome here. You should know that. Always be welcome. And I gotta get you on as a guest soon. Okay, let's have a wee card for our pal Gina. Come on, angels, step forward. Archangel. Oh, the Archangel Michael's around you, Gina. The Archangel Michael. He's battling your corner, so you're not gonna fall. You are not going to fall. Now, this is a unique card, Gina. So look at that. Let your past go, Gina. Let your past go. The burden of carting your past around has made you weary, dear one. It is time to set this burden down Keep only the lessons and the love and leave everything else behind. You don't want it, nor do you need it, and it's now gone. And that is the answer for you to have a fantastic weekend. Leave your past in the past. So good to see you, darling. Good to see you. Anne Marie says it depends on what I'm seeking. Really, mostly it's in the mood I'm in. Mostly to ensure that the past was settled, so I can move on with the future, knowing I did everything I could. Well, the past is always settled because you can't change the past, Anne Marie. You can't change it. Okay. As that last card says, I'm going to read that card. Do you know what? That card is for you too, Anne Marie. So I'm going to pass that card out to you as well. He says, just freeze. So, look, Anne Marie, that card that was for Gina is also for you. Let your past go. The burden of carrying your past around has made you weary, dear one. It's time to set this burden down. Keep only the lessons and the love and leave everything else behind. You don't want it or need it, and now it's gone. So that card is not only for my dear pal Gina, but my dear pal Anne Marie. Alrighty, so take that on board because that is a really, really, really good lesson. Mostly it's in the mood I'm in. That has a wee indication all in itself. The mood you're in dictates what kind of energy you're going to attract to yourself. Remember, I've told you this in the past. The law of attraction. If you are in a bad mood, then you're going to attract negative energy. If you're in a great mood, you're going to attract great energy. But if you're getting up and you're going to have a great day and you start thinking of negative things in the past, you're going to switch your energy across to negative. Let the past go. It cannot be changed. Okay? The lessons that you learned from it and the love that was in the past, you can bring that forward. Use that. Alrighty, so hi Dawn, welcome to the show. Good to see you, my darling. Good evening, everybody. Sending my condolences to you and your family, Paul. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate that very, very much. What a wonderful blessings to have memories to keep up our loved ones. Yes, my darling, 100%. Emma says, I would like validation that I'm doing good job bringing up my 3 daughters. You only have to look at them, Emma, my love. You only have to look at them. Okay? Look at them and look into their eyes. You know you're doing a good job. My energies that are coming around me. Now, there's a lady around you, and she comes in on mom's side of the family. She comes on the pink line. So there's a lady connected to you, not very tall, but she's, oh my God. In fact, if anything at all, she wants to tell you off for self-doubting. Okay? She really wants to give you a bit of grief here, going, oh, you know, get yourself together, girl. You know you're good. You know you're a great mother. Your love for your daughters is second to none. And that is it, high and low. Okay? Your love governs how you treat your children. Your love governs what you do for your children. But equally, your love governs what you do for yourself. Okay? So children are the best psychics on the planet, bar none. I don't care what anybody else says. And when mom is down, the children pick up on that energy. And as I said at the beginning of my show tonight, if you can't love yourself, how can you possibly expect others to love you? Start with yourself, and that amazing love and energy and strength filters down into your girls. And you're doing a fantastic job. Trust me. Trust me. Just believe in yourself a bit more, my darling. And stand at your back door or your front door, whichever suits you. Look up into the stars and just see how beautiful the heavens are. Alrighty? And what I do of a nighttime is I ask the energy of the universe just to swoosh over me. Imagine like a wave if you're standing on the beach and a wave swishes over you. And as it swishes over you, allow it to pull away any negative thoughts, any worries and stresses. And let it to reinvigorate you, replenish you, and replace any lost energy. Do that every night. And I promise you, you will feel just amazingly well. Okay? Everybody give that a go. What have you got to lose? Okay, what have we got for Emma? Oh my God! Now you saw me shuffling away, and I've got, I don't know, 50 odd cards there. Look at that. Look at that. That card came out. And for those people listening to me on FM tonight, the card says, have confidence. Moving forward does not necessarily require you to have confidence in yourself. Confidence in God is good enough, along with knowing that God works through you and with you in all ways. Lean upon us if your confidence wavers, and we will buoy you, your courage and your faith. Okay? So the angels are basically telling you, Emma, every now and again we have that little waver of self-confidence. The angels are going to be there to help you. And so will I. Thank you for being here, my darling. What I expect, says Ronnie, is that my loved ones would want to come visit me more often. Ronnie, you, honest to God, there are times, young lady, and I really want to tell you off. Your loved ones are around you all the time. Okay? I taught you for months. You should know this. They come and visit you all the time. If you want your loved ones here on the earth to come and visit you more often, then tell them. Come and see me. Make it happen, Captain. Remember what I taught you. If it's to be, it's up to me. I know I missed out on growing up, and I'll just read that again. So, and show me the love I missed out on growing up, that they did not express on earth. It doesn't matter what they'd expressed on earth. That's the past. That's, you keep reverting backwards all the time, Ronnie, and you need to stop doing that. And I don't know how many times I've given you that lesson, but every time you step forward, you start looking into the past again and what went wrong in the past, and then you wonder why you can't move forward. Okay, because you keep dragging up what is now done and can't be changed. Anybody who crosses into the spirit, into the earth, into heaven, the moment that they cross over, they are met with the loved ones that they lost. They are reorientated as into what is and what will be. They're then able to look upon the earth and upon their life. They're able to see what went well and equally what didn't go so well. They're able to understand what is referred to by us as mistakes, and then they're able to be shown how to rectify those mistakes. Okay, and at that point they're shown how this can be done, and they take up that honor of coming down to try and help rectify the mistakes. So your whatever whatever you got as love or whatever you didn't get as love, and more importantly, what were you expecting in the past? That's a big question you need to ask. Okay, has got no relevance to the future. Today is the beginning of your life. Yesterday is the past of your life. You can't even change what happened this morning. It's already happened. So what happened yesterday, last week, last month, last year, 10, 20, 30 years ago cannot be changed. It's more important to focus on where you're going rather than walking backwards and thinking you're going to trip over something. I really should show you that let go of the... Actually, I'm going to do that. I'm going to have... Because I keep these cards out that I use. So I'm going to show that one for you, Ronnie. Again. So there's the angel. Let your past go. The burden of carting your past around has made you weary, dear one. It is time to set the burden down. Keep only the lessons and the love, and leave everything else behind. You don't want it. You don't need it. And now it's gone. So take that on board. Now, that being said, I'm going to be back with you momentarily. You are listening to UPRN, United Public Radio Network, coming to you live on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. UPRNTalkRadio.com. Yes, indeed, UPRNTalkRadio.com. Welcome to the show. Right, let's have a look at who else we got going on here. Okie dokie. Oh my God, knocking for days, Paul. Amazing. Thank you so much. You're welcome, my darling. You're very, very welcome. Okay, Faye's telling everybody to go to YouTube. I'm evolving my life towards retirement. Trudy can never stay straight-faced for long enough. Sharon says, hi, Paul. Hope you and the family are doing well. We're getting there, Sharon. Thank you so much for being here tonight. It's lovely to see you. Thank you, Paul, says Faye. I do feel that I'm changing. Thank you, my darling, for even being here. I appreciate that so much. That card resonated with me. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Okay. Is it hard to know? Okay, Sue says, is it hard to know who your guides are without help? I have no feeling of them. Well, it's not that you have no feeling of them, Sue. It's more to the fact that you've grown accustomed to that feeling. And more importantly, it's not, well, how to answer this question? Is it hard to know who your guides are without help? It's not difficult to find out who your guides are without help. However, if somebody, say like myself, then turns around and shows you how to build up that connection, it becomes easier. I'm just going to turn the studio lights on. He says, there we go. Because I realize it's dark outside. So, no, Sue, it's not difficult to understand your guides, but most importantly, when your guides are around you, they usually give you a feeling or an energy that you become that you start to recognize. And what tends to happen is is that we become used to that feeling, and in that we maybe displace that particular feeling for something else, so we don't really make the connection. But it's not difficult. Once I take you on the seminar on how to meet your guides, you'll be able to do it a lot and really, really quite easily. Loretta Lewis says, is that card for me too? Loretta, it's for everybody, my darling. If you think that it resonates with you, then it's definitely for you. Okay. Nicola's joined us. Nicola, good evening. Welcome to the show. Good to see you, my darling. Julie Evans is here as well. Hi, Jules. Good to see you. Anne-Marie says, in a native culture, we acknowledge the current time. If you're thinking of someone, then you should acknowledge it. Don't wait until next month, until their birthday or anniversary is coming. Dawn Hatton says, just get that up. Turn it up here so I can see. You'll love this, Paul. My friend sent me an original arrowhead from the United States. Wow. And she lives on the Trail of Tears. Wow. Bet you the energy. So you should do a wee bit of psychometry on that. But be careful. Be careful. If it's a newly made arrowhead, then fantastic. But if it's an old arrowhead, make sure you surround yourself with protection first before you do psychometry on it. That would be mind-bogglingly. When I held the arrow, there you go. Next thing what I'm just talking about, she literally posts the next post. When I held the arrowhead, I could see the little boy sitting in the river, making so he could eat his. And I've got the rest of it. But so obviously, he held the arrowhead, did psychometry, which is when you get the energy from an object, and brilliant, Dawn. I'm going to look forward to seeing that. Julia says, sorry to hear about your elder Paul and family. Bless your heart. Appreciate that. Thank you for that, Jules. Thank you so much, Paul. I was amazing. Really needed what I wanted to hear. Emma, just believe in yourself, my angel, okay? All righty. Okay, Nadine Smith says, hi, Paul. How you My name is How are you? Melissa Mignard. I need to know if there is any messages from me from my loved ones. Well, it's more importantly to understand that. Oh, we got an idiot here. It's more important for you to understand that your Nadine, your family and friends and spirit, they're trying to talk to you all the time. You don't need to talk to a medium. It's I always tell people to look out for how they're connecting to you. Once you've figured out how they're trying to connect to you, then you'll start to understand the messages they have for you. Okay, so rather than just saying I want a message from me, it's more important to ask me a question of what you want to hear. What is it? What area is it you wanted your life to be about? Nadine says, borrowing phone, my friend's phone for this. There's somebody up here called psychic readers. Okay, they're not part of me. They're not part of this. I do not in any way support them. They are most likely trying to empty your bank account. Do not, under any circumstances, talk to them. Do not pass any funds across to them because they're trying to gain access to your bank. All right. All right. Okay. Let's go on our way down. You're so right, says Ronnie Huff. Thank you so much. I needed to be chewed out for not moving forward like I need to. I have to do this with you every other month, Ronnie. Come on. Get it together. She's one of my students. That's why I can chew her out. Everybody else is going, oh my God, he's a bit tough on her. She's one of my students. That's why. And she has a habit of dropping the ball and going backwards. And she needs to start every time. Now, this is not just for Ronnie, but all y'all. It is natural as human beings for us to second guess ourselves. It's very natural. It's natural for us as human beings to not believe in ourselves. Okay. But it's equally natural for us to completely believe in ourselves. The human psyche will choose the easiest way every time, and the easiest way is negativity and no self-belief. That's the easiest way because you don't have to put any effort into it. Right? It's a little bit more difficult, but ultimately more rewarding. That when you start to feel yourself being self-negative, to stop yourself and go, whoa, no, no, no. I'm a good person. I'm a great person. I deserve everything great. And you know what? I'm going to dismiss all negativity from my mind. And say that over and over and over until eventually your mind will believe it. It's called reprogramming. So reprogram your mind into positive thinking and positive outcomes. And you watch the world around you change. And it will. Rachel, sorry, says, I'll just bring it up on the screen. Do our loved ones have peace all the time? How do we know that? So I'm not following your question. Do our loved ones have peace all the time? Okay, let's start with that first part of that. Yes. Okay, because it's the politics that we believe in, and when I say politics, I'm not talking about governments. Politics is everything that you have an opinion on. Okay, and it's our politics that we tend to gauge the rest of the world and the rest of what we see is our lives. Okay, spirit doesn't do that. Okay, spirit doesn't have that politics. When we cross to the other side of life, we enter a place which is, we actually don't have a word to say the kind of love they're in, and they're in it. Okay, they are surrounded by everybody they lost, everybody they mourned. They're surrounded by total peace, tranquility, and absolute love. Okay, so do they have peace all the time? Yes. How do we know that? Because they tell me. Okay, especially if what we're experiencing anger right before they pass. No. You're associating here with there, and it's not. If they were experiencing anger right here, it's usually generated by fear. Okay, when they have fear here, okay, that doesn't generate to the other side of life. Okay, the other side of life is completely different, right? Peace, tranquility, love, and support is on the other side, and nothing else. Alrighty, especially when you got an idiot telling people that they're in hospital in spirit, which is total bollocks. You're associating what you're seeing here with what translates to the other side of life. That's not how it works. Okay, golden age of 777. Any word of encouragement from my son Andrew from Spirit would be, I'll start that again. Golden age 777. Any word of encouragement from my son Andrew from the spirit world for both me and the collective, please and thank you. Well, first and foremost, why you call golden age 777? Secondly of all, what words of encouragement would Andrew need to give you that you can't give yourself? That's really primarily what's going on here. Have you lost confidence in yourself since Andrew's crossing? Have you lost confidence in the world or the world around you or the people around you since Andrew's crossing? And that's where you need to start. You understand? My dad asked me my last conversation with my dad, my final last full conversation with my dad. He asked me was what I did, I'm just I'm not going to share with you the exact words because it's not appropriate, but he asked me if what I did was real. And I said to him, Dad, you've known me all my life. And he said, yes. And I said, I'm going to answer your question with a question. And I said, do you think I would rip people off at the darkest moments of their life? And he said, absolutely not. And I said, do you think I'd rip anybody off? And he said, absolutely not. You haven't got it in you. I said, right, let's start from there. So when you're asking your son Andrew for words of encouragement, maybe these are the words that he's transmitting through me to you. It's have a look at your perspective on your life. Are you getting everything out of life that you should? Are you getting everything out of this life that you want? Are you able to influence those around you with positive love and direction and light? Or are you not doing that? And then think about what Andrew would be saying to you at this moment while he's standing beside you saying, you are loved. I am here. And I have always been giving you strength. Hopefully that helps. Connor Gill says, hey, Connor, by the way, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. I didn't know if you could pick up on my direction and where I want to be in life. It's not for me to pick up on your direction or where you want to be. It's for you to do that. I'm going to give you a set of words to write down. And what I used to do with these words, Connor, was I used to put them on my computer screen. So as soon as my screen came up, these words said, and here are the words. And I want you to write these down. And I want you to start looking at yourself in the mirror. Alrighty? And here's what the words are. They are, if it's to be, it's up to me. If it's to be, it's up to me. The world is not going to walk up to your front door. Hi, Connor. Here you go. That's not how the world works. Okay? You've had a fantastic start in life because your mother's a phenomenon. She's magnificent. You've had a brilliant start in life. It's now time to start honoring Connor. Okay? It's time to start to fling open that front door and go, all right, world, let's have it. Let's be on top of this. And go out and make your goals happen. Now, if you're getting up and going doing a job you don't like, Time to change. But once again, do it sensibly. Do it with, you know, think about what you're doing. Do it with logic. Okay. If you have a job you don't like, go up there, sit down and go, do you know what? I really, really, really want to do that. So you keep doing the job that you're doing and you start making a movement towards what you want to do. And then you do a transition that's going to be financially viable for you and overall positively viable for you. Then you make a transition towards what brings you happiness, what brings you love, strength, and motivation. And you make the world happen. But Connor, it's time to shed all the negativity. It's time to shed all the crap. It's time to take the world by the scruff, give it a good shake, and say, right, now, if it's to be, it's up to me. And I'm going to make this happen. Make it happen. Wow. Roger says, Paul, you're hot tonight. I do hope you mean I'm work-wise. Good on you. Onward. Sharon says, I always overthink everything. That's understandable, darling. That's another thing that we tend to do. Johanna, my God, queen of overthinking. I always overthink everything. I need to try to think positively. No. Okay, let me stop you there and tell you off. She's going, I had to ask, didn't I? First and foremost, my outlook in life is based upon comedy. It's based upon comedy because comedy makes me happy. Comedy fills me full of love and vigor and strive and motivation. And comedy gives me so much love. Okay? So I fill myself with that. Now, what I'm going to tell you off for is you used one of my absolute worst words. Okay? You wrote down, I overthink everything and I need to try. No, never try anything. Do or do not. So get up and say, I am not going to think negatively. And you make yourself literally, every time you start to sway, and you will, then you go, no. Okay, what's the positive way out of this? Right, that. So you will make a day of being positive and have no negative thoughts. Okay, it's going to be blooming difficult. It really, really is, but it can be done. Okay, so you start to retrain yourself into thinking positively, and then thinking positively starts to react in doing positively. Doing positively starts to react by attracting positivity, and then you start that circle in your life. So bring yourself back into who Sharon Watts is by saying, I'm going to make my life perfect. And how I'm going to do it is this. And you make it happen. Don't ever try. Because try has an element of failure. And you cannot allow failure in your life. Simple. Woof. Right. So let's have a look at what people are saying. Nadine Smith says, I'm sorry, it may sound weird. I need to know if there's a message for me. And again, the message is you're not listening. No, I'm not sorry, you're not listening to me. You're not listening outside. You're being given messages, Nadine. Things are being put in front of you. They're making sort of things happen for you and around you, but you're not seeing it because you're too busy trying to look for the big billboard in the sky. You're too busy looking for that huge sign that you're missing all the subtle signs. So what I was saying earlier is you're missing the message because you're too busy looking for the big all right, Nadine, follow these 5 golden stars and this is to wealth, happiness and love. You're too busy looking for that sign. When all along the line is, here Nadine, we love you. Here Nadine, we love you. Oh Nadine, we love you. And by the way, we're here to help you. You're missing all of those because you're too busy looking for that huge billboard in the sky. And you're not following your heart. Okay? You're not following your instincts. You're too busy trying to follow other people's advice. Start listening to Nadine. Phil, Gotta breathe. Sorry, guys. I was going to bring Roger on tonight. I really wanted Roger to come on hand in hand with me tonight and work with me. I really, really did, and he will be on Thursday. But I've just noticed time is getting away from me, and I'm maybe being a wee bit more affected by my uncle's crossing than I thought I would be. But I'm not going to allow it to let me down, because I'm sure he's working alongside of me. I'm sure he's working right here with me. So Phil Greenfield says, any messages from my father, please? Phil or Colleen says, any messages from my dad? Colleen, there is an energy around me, and it is male. If it's your dad, I don't know, because he's not saying dad to me. Okay. I don't know whether or not there was a fallout between you and he, or there was a distance between you and he, because I'm getting a drop and then a return. So whether this gentleman who's close to me right now is connecting me is your dad or not, I don't know. He is coming on the right hand side, which tells me dad's side of the family. Okay, he is telling me that he's connected in that bloodline. So, but he wants me to acknowledge the name Tony or Thomas, that kind of a name to be shouted at. And if you watch my shows on a regular basis, you know that means who they are, who's with them, or please say hello to. It doesn't necessarily mean this person has crossed over. Now, whoever this energy is connecting me to wants to talk about the card player or the playing of cards as being significant here. Okay, they show me the 3 of diamonds. That's a message for me to say they want to talk about 3 people. So 3 children, mother, father, daughter. I don't know, but there's 3 connection. Diamonds usually, for my reference, refers to 3 children. Now, for an example, if you're talking about a specific ring with 3 diamonds in it, then you're right and I'm wrong. I'm quite happy about that, to be honest with you. But in relation to listening to Dad, Colleen, it's more along the lines of be true to yourself. Okay, it's more along the lines of, if you want to go and do something that brings you that warmth and that understanding, that happiness. Like, for example, if you want to go and sit in a church and intake either a service, or you just want to sit in a church and take on the energy, then you go ahead and do that. Okay, and stop thinking about what other people think about you. That's not important. It's what you think about you that's important. Okay. I want to say this to you as well, Colin. I really, really, really want you to start getting a little bit more conscientious about your health. Okay. I want you to, I mean, it's not for me to tell you what to do, and they will not tell you what to do. It's your choice. But how I feel I want to wrap you in a blanket. I feel I want to protect you from the world, which feels to me very fatherly like thing to do, but so would a grandparent. But I really want to say to you, listen, it really, really is time to open these eyes. It really, really is time to be a little bit more conscientious about who you are and what you're doing to yourself. Okay. Are you giving yourself a good amount of sleep at night? Are you giving yourself the right kind of foods? Are you putting yourself in the right pathway to get what you want out of life and get that energy that you need out of life? So it's really more about what Colleen really needs that will help you here. Let's get you a card. Can't believe the time is shooting past so fast tonight. Oh, card literally just flew out. It literally flew out of the deck as I was shuffling. So, Colleen, the message is relationship. Okay. Look at I always say look at the picture, because it'll equally give you a message. All right. So the message to you tonight is your primary relationship is with yourself. Oh my God. Did I just say that? Your primary relationship is with yourself and God. And every other relationship follows from there. To attract, heal, or balance a relationship, then snuggle more closely with your loving Creator. As you feel safe and loved within, so shall other relationships bloom and prosper. Hopefully that helps. Nicholas says, beautiful advice, Paul. Shani says, you are brilliant. I appreciate you guys saying that. My humility doesn't, I don't feel brilliant. I just pass on what I'm shown. Jules Sharp says, that's the knocking I hear, Paul. Even when I'm on the phone, cheeky spirit, have to tell him to stop knocking. I love it. Sue says her dad knocks around as well. That's wonderful stuff. Oh my God, Paul, it's so strange that the very words I used to hear all the time from my dad. He used to say it all the time. So the messages are flowing out. And what's making me happy tonight is you are all getting the messages. Even though I'm getting them to one person specifically, the messages are filtering through to everybody, which is what it's supposed to happen. Great joy in little things, gifts and messages, says Trudy. Skylight. Hello, may I have any messages, please? Thank you. Any messages from my father or grandmother, please? Sky, the messages are coming through. But take from all of the messages that are coming out. Alrighty? And it's nice to see you here. Thank you for being here. Roger says, no worries, my brother. You're surrounded by spirits. That's why I said you're hot. Bless your heart. I didn't think you were anything to do with my haircut. Julie Sharp says, you're amazing, Paul. I love your shows. I've learned so much and still learning. Thank you so much for your time. It's always appreciated. Thank you. Do you know what? Thank you. That is very appreciative. Roger and I do our absolute best to try and not only present messages, but to give you guys an insight to say, listen, just all you got to do is listen. Listen to our loved ones on the other side. They're trying to talk to you all the time. And if you guys are getting those messages and getting that education, so to speak, that makes me very happy. I appreciate that. It means I'm doing my job right. And I really appreciate it. Just while I'm speaking about jobs, I won't be doing any readings for the next couple of days, as you can understand why. So if you were booked in for a reading over the next 2 days, please accept my apologies and rebook. And if you do want to book in for readings, then I'll be starting to do readings again on Thursday and Friday. All right. Sue says, thank you, Paul, for giving us all the time when you've suffered a loss. Thank you, Sue, for saying that, my sweetheart. I really genuinely appreciate that. However, if I didn't give my time and didn't do what I'm supposed to do, I'd only be letting down not only myself, of course, but I'd be letting my family down. They've gone to Spirit. They understand what the concept is. And if I started using their crossing as a get out of work free card, I wouldn't be doing them justice. It's about doing you guys justice. You guys. And it's about doing them justice. And out of that, Roger and I get justice. And we get warmth and love, an opportunity to bring a smile to where we can replace a tear. But I am human. And I'm thinking about my Uncle Francie as I've been working all night. And just as I said that, oh my goodness, literally as I said that, there's a heart in my window. It's a Wiccan heart. And it's surrounded by little lights. And as soon as I said, I've been thinking about my Uncle Francie, the lights all turned on. And I don't lie. They all turned on, literally. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Is I'm going to turn the camera around so you guys can see it. I promise you with my hand on my heart, this happened. They switched on. Check this out. There you go. All those lights turned on, literally, as I mentioned his name. Sorry for looking and a wee bit unprofessional there, but you know what? I don't care because that was important. Literally, as I mentioned his name, all those lights came on. Wow. Phil Green says, Oh my God, spot on. The only distance we had is I live in Lincolnshire and he lived in Nottinghamshire, and Tom was my granddad. Well, there you go. There you go. I'm glad you got that message. Faye says, I'm writing notes because this show brings many brilliant messages for us all. Thank you, Faye, my love. Appreciate that. Someone I know tells us to tell people we love them, and now while we can. Yes, I do. I always say communicate, appreciate, and validate everybody in your life so a medium never has to do it for you. That means picking up the phone, sending a text message, sending a message on Messenger, or getting on face to face time and just telling that person just how much they mean to you. So that if something should occur in the days and weeks and months and years ahead, you can sit back and know that they knew without doubt that you loved them. We have that in our house constantly. We will not pass or we will not leave each other without telling each other we love each other. That's absolute. We won't do it. Even our youngest daughter will give us a hug and a kiss before she goes to bed at night and before she leaves for school in the morning. Every night without fail. And even my son can tell me, and he's 26, I think. He'll tell me that he loves me. It's important. It's important. Lovely Facebook Messenger person says, I always love what energy you send out. You look better than the last time I saw you. Thank you very much. Everything is going well, and I want to thank you for your support in the past. You're a true light in the dark. Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. I'd love to say who you are, but all I get to see is that. Come and join me on Facebook. Sorry, if you're on Facebook, come and join me on YouTube. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do now. Okay, and when you click the subscription, click the little bell icon, and that will tell you in advance when I'm about to release some new shows. Like it'll tell you in advance for Thursday night, but if I do some new releases, it'll tell you all about those as well. So for the cost of absolutely nothing, go into YouTube, type in Paul Francis Medium. It'll take you to my YouTube channel. It'll take you straight back to this show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click the little bell icon. Well, we're basically at the end of the show, my dear friends. I didn't do anything for you guys tonight. You did it for me. Thank you. Oh, Helen, darling. Good to see you, darling. Helen, thanks for being here. I appreciate that very much. And I appreciate what you've said very, very much. I didn't do anything for you guys tonight. You did it for me. You did it for me. You were here tonight and you supported me tonight. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Tony says, today is my dad's birthday. Do they celebrate with loved ones in heaven? Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't they? Absolutely. They don't supply. I'll start that again. They don't celebrate just with their friends and family in spirit. They do it with you too. I always say, if things start happening around your house, first and foremost, check the dates. Is there a birthday and anniversary happening? Because it's very often them trying to tell you that they're around you. Okay? So, Tony, you can be assured they're celebrating, but more importantly, they'll be celebrating around you guys as well. Alrighty? I'm going to wish you all a fantastic day, evening, or night, depending on where you are. And I will say to you guys with absolute focus, I will be back on Thursday. Alrighty, I'm not going to be doing any reads, obviously today, tomorrow, or next day, but I'll be back on Thursday. So if you were booked in for reads between here and Thursday, I apologize, but please rebook. I would rather give you 100% of me than 40% of me, which it kind of feels like right now. But you guys got 100% of me tonight because I know my Uncle Francie, my mom, and all my aunts and uncles in spirit are watching over me, and my friends are watching over me now and working with me to bring you guys the love and strength and messages that you need. And that when I'm delivering you a message, I get the message too. So it's good. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful night. Don't forget, you've got my dear friends Roger and Faye coming out with their show Latino Psychic Visions tomorrow. And of course, right after this show tonight, you have Michelle and Amelia with their show The Outer Realm. Stick around for that and make sure you support those guys too. But until I see you again, be safe. Good night. God bless. And I'll see you very soon.
You are listening to UPRN, United Public Radio Network, coming to you live on 105.3 right up to 107.7 FM from the beautiful city of New Orleans. UPRNtalkradio.com.